Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, my secondary students. Welcome. We have today revision on Module 2 on page 21. We have Module 2. Please open your books on page 21. We can see here a picture on the cover page. We can see here the title of this module is On the Move. When you move from place to another, we say on the move. We have here the objectives of this lesson. Learn how to check into and out of a hotel, how to change a hotel and fight reservation, and how to talk about air travel. Talk about means of transport, types of holidays and holiday destinations. Learn how to emphasize, to focus on action using the passive voice. Learn how to express reason, concession, and purpose using appropriate clauses. Clauses are not a full sentence. We will discuss later. Learn to write a paragraph and an essay, which is type of writing, expressing your opinion. Acquire skills and strategies that will help you in the exam. Let's move together to the next page. We have here reading. It is full of vocabulary. You can guess the meaning and match the new vocabulary with their meanings. We have here words easily confused. We have tour, trip, journey, fare, ticket, site, area, location. I will just do this quickly. Sometimes we say that a trip here, trip is you can go to many spaces like sightseeing. This is tour. Tour is you go to many places for sightseeing. Trip is short period. Journey is long period and long distance. Then we have fare and ticket. Fare is amount of money. Ticket is printed pieces of paper that show that you paid. We have site, area, location. Site is a place with a particular purpose, area, parts of a country or city, and we have here location, a place where the building is or where someone is. We have also arrive, get, and reach. Usually arrive followed by at, get followed by to, and reach followed by the noun, the border, for example here. We have take, bring, and carry. Take, that you take someone to another place or take something to another place. Bring is the opposite, that you give something for someone. And finally we have carry, that you have something and move with it. These are the differences. Let's move to the grammar here. We have passive voice 1. Because we have passive voice 2, this is passive voice 1. Please open your books on page 78, grammar reference, to have more detail about this grammar. Why we use passive voice 1? We use the passive voice to emphasize, to focus an action rather than who or what is responsible for it. Formation. The passive voice is formed with the verb be, is, am, are, plus the past participle of the main verb. We have here the important note. The person who causes or carries out the action is called an agent. We don't know whom. Why? We don't emphasize on this agent. We usually omit. Why? When the action interests us more than the agent, we are interested in the action, or we don't know the agent. When it is easy to figure out who is the agent. For example, here the bank was robbed by someone who we don't know. So we don't know he is the subject. So we have here the arrange. We have be in the past, which is was, plus the past participle robbed. English is spoken in Australia. By whom? By people. This is easy to guess, easy to figure out. Here the past passive voice, present simple, like this. I am cold. In the past simple we have I was cold. These all in passive voice. 1. Present perfect simple, I have been cold. Have you been cold? Also we have here in question and negative. I had been cold. This is past perfect simple. Past perfect simple consists of had plus been plus the past participle of the verb. Future will, I will be cold. The modal verbs, I can be cold, should you be cold, they mustn't be cold. So all of these consist of be plus the past participle of the verb. You can check the irregular verbs on page 81. Let's go back to our grammar here. The road is cycled. By whom? We don't know. So this is passive voice. The route is cycled under the supervision of a guide. Why has the writer used a passive voice? What do you think here? To emphasize the person or to emphasize the action itself? Actually, it is for the action. We have the other sentence. Then cyclists are taken by a ferry to the city by Brooklyn, or city of Brooklyn. What about here the cyclist? Taken by whom? By a ferry. We have mentioned here the agent. How is passive voice formed? Subject plus verb to be plus past participle, or subject plus is or are plus past simple. We mentioned before that it is a subject, verb be, and past participle. Let's move here to be. Read the table below and find more examples of the passive voice in the text on page 22. Look at these examples about active voice and passive voice. What's the difference between these two? In present simple, they take pictures of the castle. So we have here the subject, the verb, and the object. But in passive voice, pictures of the castle, we have taken this object at the beginning. Then we write here verb to be are the past participle of the verb here taken. So pictures of the castle are taken. This is in the passive voice. What about past simple? They took pictures of the castle. This is active voice. We know here the subject. We want to change it to passive voice. 1. Pictures of the castle were taken. Why here are and why here were? Because this is in the present simple and here it is in the past simple. What about present perfect simple? They have taken pictures of the castle. We change it in the passive voice. Pictures of the castle have been taken. So active passive voice 1 for present perfect simple consists of have plus been plus the past participle. Past perfect simple, in the active, they had taken pictures of the castle. We have changed it here. Pictures of the castle has been taken. So passive voice for past perfect simple consists of had plus been plus the past participle, which is taken here. Future will, pictures of the castle will be taken. Will plus be plus the past participle of the verb. What about the modal verbs here? Pictures of the castle may be taken. So with the modal verbs, I add verb to be plus the past participle here. For grammar, you can read more examples on page 78. Let's move to the next lesson. We have here listening and reading. We have talking about here about Salman with reservation on a hotel. You can read it and guess the new vocabulary, match it with the new meanings for you. Then we have here vocabulary. We just will mention it quickly. Look at the extracts. What is compound nouns? A compound noun is a combination, a mix of two nouns that function as one word. So we have two words combined together. We combine these words together and they function as one word. The first noun defines the second one. For example, room number. This is a combine. Here we have combined two words or two nouns. This is a compound noun, room number, which means the number of the room. Okay, you can do this exercise, combine these words. Let's move to the next grammar here. We have clauses of reason. What is clauses? Clauses are not full sentence. They are clause, part of the sentence. For example, I would like to make it for the following weekend. We can see this. This part is complete. We can guess the meaning. But when we read because of a small problem that has come up, we can't find the whole meaning here. So this is clauses of reason. Why I do this thing because of this. This is a clause. We use here because or as plus subject plus verb. When I use because, I have to add plus subject and verb. And I can use because of or due to plus noun or ing form. We will do it together. We'll just take a general information about now. Clauses of concession. What is concession here? They are express an idea which is in contrast with the idea expressed in the main clause. So we have here clause of here concession and we have main clause. We use this clause of concession, why? To express an idea which is in contrast with the idea expressed. We use although, or, even though, plus subject plus verb. We use in spite of or despite plus noun or ing form. We will have some examples later. The last clause here is clauses of purpose. The main goal of this clause. Why we use clauses of purpose? What's the reason here? To express purpose. Using what? To or, in order to, or so as to, plus base form. This is for affirmative sentence. For negative sentence, we use in order not to, so as not to, plus base form. Also we can use so that, plus subject, plus the modals here. Can, could, will, would, may, might, plus the base form. Let's move to page 79. Clauses of reason express the reason for something. For example, here, I tiptoed into the living room as I didn't want to disturb my grandfather. As we have here, clause of reason. Then we have clauses of concession. We use it to express construct or opposite, the opposition to the main clause. For example, here, although he was starving, he didn't take any of the food they offered him. Even he is hungry, he stopped eating, he didn't take any of the food they offered him. We can use in spite of or despite. For example, despite the heavy rain, it was very hot. Let's move here to clauses of purpose to introduce with, so that, for example, we will call him so that, what's the purpose? He will be informed about this as well. The burglar who wore gloves so as not to leave any fingerprints. So as, here the purpose, to not to leave any fingerprints. Okay, let's move to the next page. We have here listening about check-in in the airport. We have many new words. You have to match them with their meanings. Then we have here writing a paragraph expressing an opinion. You have to write a paragraph, expressing an opinion. Pay attention to the step. Begin with a sentence introducing the topic. Express your opinion clearly and give reasons. Justify. Use linking words or phrases to list or add points. This is the brainstorm plan. Okay, then we have here reading. Beam me up. We have here too many new vocabulary. Match it with their meanings. We have here vocabulary, nouns, description, occupation like doctor, like teacher, like many occupation. We have to add the suffixes like ist, scientist, or er like teacher, or ian like a technician. These are nouns describing occupations. Let's move to, then we have here prepositional phrases with at and n. So we have nouns and we have at and n. Let's move to the passive voice 2. We have revised passive voice 1 and this is passive voice 2. Look here, let's go to the grammar reference page 78, 79. We have a present progressive and past progressive in passive voice 2. Progressive tenses here, passive voice, consist of be plus being plus the past participle of the main verb. I am being called. I was being called. So this is in the present, I use am. This is in the past, I use was. Are, were, aren't, weren't. There are some verbs such as know, believe, say, think are often followed by that clause. What is that clause? We have to copy it as it is. People believe that he is very rich. So this is active voice. We want to, we have here believe. We want to change it to passive voice second or 2. It is believed that he is very rich. So he is very rich. I just copy it. This is that clause. And I write it is believed. It is known. Then we have subject plus passive form of the verb plus 2 plus base form. He is believed to be very rich. For example, here we have some verb like give, offer, send. We have two objects here, two objects. They gave William a present. So here we have William, the first object, and we have present, the second object. So we have two objects in this sentence. We have to change it to passive voice. William was given a present. Or I can say a present was given to William. Also here, the person who did this action is not mentioned. Okay. So here we have the active voice and passive voice in present progressive, past progressive, also the verbs say, think, know, etc. Please turn on round up. We have here vocabulary and grammar. Let's do B. Because we want to do this, produce a grammatically correct sentence. Number 1. What about here? Number 1. The politician admitted that mistakes. What about this mistakes here? Number one, it is had been made. They admitted that mistakes. This is the that clause. Number two, he is said to be the richest man in the world. Said, this is say. We have changed it like this. Number three, why did you wake up so early today? In order to. Number four, although he is rich and good looking, he's still single. Number five, Sammy ran home because he thought he was being here followed by a strange man. Was being followed. Number six, despite the bad weather, Stephen went sailing. Although the bad weather, Sam went sailing. Number seven, we have why you are drinking coffee so late at night. Why? What's the reason? So that I can stay awake and finish reading my book. Number eight, it is believed that Adam lives somewhere in Dubai. Number nine, the climbers felt excited due to the heat. The last one, we have nothing this big before has ever been built before. That's all about module 2. You can go to the grammar reference on page 77 and 78. Thank you. For more information, please visit website AIN and Twitter account. Thank you for watching. Until we meet again, have a good day.